it takes time.
Right.
And you can't be in a big hurry because you've got to build that, because trust only comes, I mean, if you break trust, it's almost impossible to mend that.
Right.
Effectively bring it
I
back
hear
into
that
a
to my
solid
core.
relationship.
Yeah. Well, and one thing too is going back to the story of the ping pong effect of referrals with this agent, is that eventually then one of the clients that he referred over, she needed to buy a house here, and so it was the mother of a past client of mine. And so
right.
she ended up buying this house for mom, all cash. And mom moved here, and she furnished it beautifully, super cute house, close to her house. And then mom suddenly passed. And now I'm getting a phone call from that client. I actually heard through the grapevine about mom, and I'm reaching out to her, and I'm sending some condolences and just some reminders that, she's on my mind. And not because of a marketing strategy. It had nothing
Right.
to do because I'm trying to sell that house now.
Because you care.
Yeah, it's literally because I felt for her, and she's become a friend through this process, right? So then that relationship turns into some deeper conversation, and I don't want to, there are plenty of, not this situation, but there's plenty of other situations where we as agents become therapists for people, especially in divorce situations. Where you're, on both sides of the thing. But for this, it was then genuine conversation and, okay, well, what's the next step with the house? What's the next step with this? Let's figure out how you can keep it. Let's figure out how we can work this through. You don't need to make any decisions right now, but just becoming a friend through that process. And so that doesn't happen through a transaction. If I would have just sold that house and then not ever touched base with her again, never followed up with her, not engaged with her, not followed her on social media, saw that she's doing all these amazing things with her daughter and this and that, to where I could actually know her life and become a part of her world and her mind, that would have never taken place when mom passed. I would have never been a part of the conversation of what's next. And I don't take that lightly. That's such a beautiful thing about the business that we've built, and that so many agents out there that are doing business the right way have built by not only referral, but by relationship-based business. Is there's something so special to that you get to really follow along for years with certain families and see their kids grow and be there for the hardships. And that is what I think makes that's why I love this business, truly. That's why I love being in
Why
this.
do you love this business?
Because of that. No, I love it because of the people. Not every person. Let me retract that statement. No, I do. I love it because of the people that we get to work with. We're blessed to not have to work with people we don't really want to work with anymore. We don't have to take all the business if it doesn't make sense and doesn't align with kind of what we're trying to do.
See, and you asked a question about, say, some mistakes, maybe buyers or sellers.
Yeah.
How about mistakes that agents make when they go in and it's like, I've got to have this, and they're just, their palms are sweaty, and they just got to have this deal, so they'll compromise.
And we talked about that in the last podcast, because so many people are out there are agents that aren't doing this full time. And so if they can get one deal and they can cut their commission, they can make a penny, they're happy about it just because they're
Doesn't mean they did a good job.
Doesn't mean they did a good job.
Doesn't mean that the client got served.
I agree.
In fact, that's a liability to a seller a lot of times, because if your agent is willing to compromise and just looks at it transactionally, think about how much money might that seller have left on the table.
Right. Yeah. Well, and reputation is actually a big deal for us. Not in some, vain, shallow way, in a way that, like, we've built a reputation on serving people to the best of our ability. And so we don't just take it. We actually believe that we work really hard. I think the uneducated.
You do anyway.
Well, you just sit back and collect checks, but no, the uneducated.
Do you have one on you, by the way?
I do
could
not.
Use a few
No.
extra bucks today.
The uneducated public out there that doesn't understand real estate and doesn't. they think that, oh, they see selling Sunset or whatever, and they think, oh, there's a $50 million property, and they made all this hundreds of thousands of dollars in one transaction. They showed it to like 4 rich people or whatever. Like there are times where we are busting our butts, and when we actually go back and look at the hours spent on that transaction with what we got paid, we didn't even make $1 an hour. Like there are so many of those transactions. There are some transactions we actually looked back and said, we just paid for them to sell or buy that house because it's so many hours, right? So we work really, really hard, which
I hope we're not doing that now.
we
are
don't do that all the time, but there are people, you know what? I'll give you